Hello everyone, welcome back to our professional CSS mastery course. And today we are going to learn one of the most important concept in CSS, the CSS box model. If you are truly understand the box model, you will find it much easier to build beautiful, responsive and professional website layouts. Every button, card, image, form, navigation bar and container you see on a website is based on the box model. So today cover 6 important topics: width, height, margin, padding, border and box sizing. By the end of this lesson, you will understand how CSS calculate an element size and how to create clean, properly spaced layout. So what is CSS box model? The CSS box model is the layout model used by browsers to calculate the size and spacing of every HTML element. So every HTML element is treated as a rectangular box. So the box consists of 4 main parts: content, padding, border and margin. So understanding these 4 layers helps you control element size, spacing and alignment with precision. So CSS box model structure. Imagine a box like this: margin, then border, then padding and content. So each layer has a different purpose. Understanding each part. Content. The content area is where your actual data appears. It can contain text, images, button, video, forms. When we specify the width is 30 pixel and height is 150 pixel. So this value apply to the content area by default. The second is padding. Padding is the space inside the border. It creates the breathing room between the content and the border. So padding makes content easier to read. Border. The border surrounds the padding and content. It defines the visible edge of an element. If the border is 5 pixel and solid and blue color, so you can customize the width, style, color. Margin. Margin is the empty space outside the border. It creates the distance between neighboring elements. Without margin, elements stuck together. And margin helps produce clean and professional layout. Width. The CSS width property defines the horizontal size of an HTML element. It tells the browser how wide an element should be. By setting the width, you control how much horizontal space an element occupies on the web page. So the width can be specified using different CSS units such as pixel, percentage, EM, REM, viewport width, and auto. So choosing the appropriate unit depends on whether you need effect size elements or a responsive design. So let's take the example. Now let's understand the code step by step. The first box this dash pixel. So this set the width to 300 pixel. No matter how large or small the screen is, the box will remain exactly 300 pixel width. So this is useful for elements that require effect size such as logos, icons or small cards. The second box, here the width is 60% of the parent element. If the parent container is 1000 pixel wide, the box will become 600 pixel wide. So if the screen size change, the width change automatically, making it responsive. Third box, the VW unit stand for viewport width. One viewport width means one VW equal to 1% of the browser width. So therefore, the width is 50 VW means viewport width. So means the box occupies 50% of the box window, of the browser window, regardless of its parent element. So this unit is commonly used for hero sections, banners, and full screen layouts. So let's run any browser. First box, fixed width of 300 pixel. Always stay the same size. Second box, width change according to the parent container. Excellent for responsive layout. Third box, width change according to the browser window. Perfect for modern full width website section. So this example demonstrates the difference between fixed, relative and viewport based width. Height. The CSS height property defines the vertical size of an HTML element. It tells the browser how tall an element should be, just like the width property control the horizontal space, the height property control vertical space. So you can define height using the various CSS units such as pixel, percentage, EM, REM, viewport height and auto. So choosing the correct unit helps create layout that are both visual appealing and responsive. So let's take the example. The fixed size box-px, this is the fixed size. This box always remain 150 pixel tells regardless of the screen size. This is useful for codes, button, image, containers and fixed size section. Percentage height box dash percent, so this is the percentage height. This box height becomes 40% of its parent element's height. For percentage height to work correctly, the parent element must have a defined height. For example, container height is 500 pixel and the box is 40%. So the box height become 200 pixel, which is 40% of 500 pixel. Viewport height box dash vh, viewport height. The height is 30 VH, viewport height. So the VH unit stand for viewport height. So 1 VH is equal to 1% of the browser window's height. So 30 VH is equal to 30% of the browser window's height. So if the browser height is 900 pixel, then the 30 VH is equal to 270 pixel. So this is commonly used for modern responsive layouts. Let's run in a browser. You will see three different boxes. First box, height is 150 pixel, fixed vertical size. The second box height is 40%, depend on the height of its parent. And the third box height is 30 VH. Automatically adjust according to the browser window height. So this clearly demonstrates the difference between fixed, percentage based and viewport based height. The CSS margin property creates empty space outside an element's border. It controls the distance between one element and other surrounding elements. Unlike padding, which adds space inside an element, margin adds space outside the elements. So think of margin as the invisible gap that separate element from each other. So let's take the example. Now let's understand the CSS one property at a time. This is the base box. Dot box and width is 30 pixel, background is blue and the padding is 20 pixel. So this create a blue box with a fixed width and inner spacing. The remaining classes only change the margin. So dot box dash 1 margin then 20 pixel. This add the 20 pixel top, 20 pixel right, 20 pixel bottom and 20 pixel left. So the box is surrounded by equal spacing on all four sides. The dot box dash 2 margin then colon and then 0 and then 40 pixel. So this means the top and the bottom is 0 pixel and the left and the right is 40 pixel. So this box shift inwards because extra horizontal space is added. The dot box dash 3. Here is the margin dash top is 20 pixel. So only the top margin is applied. The other three sides remain unchanged. So let's run in a browser. This is the base box. Equal spacing on every side, looks balanced and centered. The second box, extra spacing on the left and right, no additional spacing above or below. The third box, only the top spacing increase, useful for separating section vertically. So this demonstrates how different margin values affect an element's position. Padding. The CSS padding property creates space inside an element between its content and its border. Padding increases the internal spacing of an element without affecting the distance between neighboring elements. Think of padding as the cushion inside a box that keeps the content away from the edges. Why is padding important? Padding is widely used because it's make text easier to read, prevent content from the touching the borders, create the attractive buttons and cards, improve user experience, and give elements a clean and modern appearance. So without padding, content looks cramped and unprofessional. So let's take the example. This is the base box. Dot box and then the width is 300 pixel and the border is 3 pixel, then solid and then the blue color. So this create a box with fixed width, blue background, blue border, and initially the content is close to the border. So padding add internal space. So the dot box 1 padding add the padding 20 pixel. So this add 20 pixel on the top, right, bottom and left. So this the content move away from every edges making the box more comfortable to read. Then the dot box dash 2 padding is 10 pixel and 40 pixel. So this means top and bottom is 10 pixel and left and right is 40 pixel. So the text has much more horizontal space, creating a wider appearance inside the box. And the dot box dash 3, here is the padding top is 30 pixel, padding bottom is 15 pixel, padding left is 20 pixel and padding right is 20 pixel. So each side has its own padding value. So this gives you complete control over the internal spacing. So let's run any browser. Here is the first box. Equal spacing on all four sides. Text is center with a comfortable breathing room. The second box, less space above and below, more space on the left and right. So ideal for wide buttons or navigation items. Third box, larger top spacing, smaller bottom spacing, custom left and right spacing. So this demonstrates how different padding values change the appearance of an elements. Border. The CSS border property is used to draw a line around an HTML elements. The border surrounded both the content and the padding, making the elements stand out from surrounding content. A border has three main components: border width, how thick the border is; border style, the appearance of the border line; and border color, the color of the border. So without a border style, the border will not be visible. So even if you specify a width and color. So why is border important? Borders are commonly used to highlight important content, separate sections of any web page, design buttons and card, styling forms and input fields, improve the visual structure of a website. So you will see the border everywhere from login form to product card and navigation menu. So let's take the example. This is the base box. Width is 320 pixel and padding is 20 pixel. So this create a content box with padding. Each additional class change only the border. So here is the solid class, add the 4 pixel border, then the solid and the blue color of the border. So this create the border width is 4 pixel, border style is solid and border color is blue. So this is the most common border style used in a professional website. The dot dashed class, the border appear has a small dash. This style is often used for upload areas, placeholder section and design previews. The dot dotted class, the border consists of small dots. It's commonly used for decorative design or educational examples. And the double class, this create two parallel border lines. The double borders are often used for certificate, highlighted notice or decorative elements. So let's run any browser. So the first box is a clean blue solid border that gives the elements a modern appearance. Second box, an orange dashed border commonly used to indicate the editable or upload areas. Third box, a green dotted border useful for decorative or instructional purpose. Fourth box, a pink double border creating a bold and attractive effect. Each border style gives the elements a different visual identity. Box sizing. The CSS box sizing property control how the browser calculates the total width and height of an element. It determines whether the padding and border are included inside the specified width and height or added outside them. So CSS provides two main values: content box by default and border box. Understanding the difference between these two values is essential for creating predictable and responsive layout. So why is box sizing important? The box sizing property help you prevent the unexpected element size, build the responsive layout more easily, keep width and height calculation simple, reduce layout bugs, and create the professional and consistent design. So without proper box sizing, layout can break, especially when multiple elements are placed side by side. So let's take the example. Base box is width is 300 pixel. The width is C2 300 pixel. Both boxes start with the same size and padding is 20 pixel. Add internal spacing around the content and the border is 5 pixel solid and blue. So create a blue border around each box. So the first example is dot content dash box. Class is box sizing is content box. This is the browser default behavior. The total width increase because padding and borders are added outside the content. The second example, border dash box. The border sizing is border box. So here padding and borders are included inside the specified width. So the total width says exactly 300 pixel. So let's run in a browser. First box, content box. All through the width is set to 300 pixel. The actual elements appear wider because the padding and borders are added to the outside. Second box, border box. The width remains 300 pixel. The browser automatically adjusts the content area so the total size never exceeds the specified width. This makes the layout much easier to manage.